Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome to this episode of the Forward Thinkers Talk series. My name is Dr. Ivo Pezzuto. I am a professor of global economics and competitiveness at ISM Paris and the founder of Ivo Pezzuto Forward-Thinking Lab. In this space, we typically invite prominent and emerging entrepreneurs, company leaders, forward thinkers, in order to share their thought-provoking ideas, expertise on business, economics, entrepreneurship, marketing, latest trends, technology, and sustainable business model. Today, I'm very thrilled to have here with me as a guest Vincenzo Riili, distinguished marketing professional, expert, and leader. And it's really a great pleasure to talk with him and to learn from him a lot of his wealth of knowledge and experience in marketing. Vincenzo, welcome and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here and talking to you today.
It's great to have you here and to see you again. So it's really nice. Well, Google. Vincenzo is the Chief Marketing Officer of Google Italy. Google doesn't need an introduction. Everybody knows Google, evidently. What we can say about Google, for starters, is just a couple of basic informations. Google is part of its parent company, Alphabet Inc., leading tech firm founded in 1998 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. The firm has grown from a search engine to a multifaceted tech giant, influencing many industries. We all familiar with search engine, advertising, Google Analytics, and all kinds of other things from hardware, software, services, cloud computing, and everything else. So really giant leading player in this very space. Under the leadership of Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google and Alphabet, we've seen significant innovations and progress, and even in the leadership and in the management of the organization. In this particular interview, we want to focus a little bit on the trends and on marketing, evidently having the pleasure and honor of having here Vincenzo. So without further ado, Vincenzo, let me start asking you first question just to introduce you and to let our viewers know more about yourself. Tell us something about your background, your journey towards becoming the Chief Marketing Officer of Google Italy. What pivotal moments shaped your career and led you to this important leadership role?
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been in the market now for 20 plus years, so a long time. Basically, I started marketing within Unilever. I joined what at the time was renowned as the School of Marketing. Let's say now we say traditional marketing. At the time, it was just marketing, and I was quite lucky because I worked. I'm Italian. I worked in Italian operating company. Then I moved to the US, and then I started working in what Unilever called the innovation center. So areas where you can talk to consumers across the globe or the regions, and after understanding what insights you get by talking to them, then actually delivering products that were in line with what consumer wanted. And I did that for about 15 years in different businesses, in personal care, in home care, then in beverage, and so that obviously was a good starting point. Over there, you learn a lot about marketing, about consumer, but also about business, because marketing on those industry FMCGs is also a leading function that is responsible also for the P&L, for the results. So you learn on one hand, obviously marketing skills, on the other managerial and business skills. Then obviously there was an opportunity at Google. I always been a kind of technology geek since I was a teenager. I used to program in COBOL, which I understand now it's a program just using some bands actually. And then Google was looking for a marketeer within Italy, and I joined the company here. So let's say about 20 plus year in marketing, and in the last 8 plus years at Google, where obviously it's a different kind of business, a different kind of industry, but is extremely interesting because you are able to work on products and services that are new. You need to market something which doesn't exist, did not exist before. There's not any playbook to do. So that's actually my journey to this kind.
Absolutely. And also, I imagine massive, influence and from innovations from anything that's going on in the global network of, there's a lot of learning and the transfer of knowledge and capabilities, innovations within the organization. Yeah, thank you very much. It's very nice, that combination of being a marketer, a marketing guy that learned from Unilever, from the very best places where you can learn marketing on the data and the practical stuff and the financials, as you said, and at the same time to combine that with the technological passion, which connecting these two things together, it's quite amazing. So that's why I think it's really important. Now, in relation with relating to the concept of technology and innovation, which you just mentioned, today we have so many, amazing, innovative, transformative technologies that are reshaping the world in which we live, and we are just starting, with Gen AI, artificial intelligence, and many other things like virtual reality, augmented reality, immersive experience, search engine. You guys are the leaders in that area, but also in the AI environment, the AI assistant chatbots and wearables and many other things that are on the market. So the world is really completely revolutionized by this incredible innovation, transformative innovations we are seeing these days. How do you think, since you have a sort of a privileged exposure working with Google and in that industry, how do you think these transformative technologies are really reshaping marketing strategies and customer journey? How are they impacting this thing? And based on your experience, what is your impression? And if you have any mind, any specific example to share with us?
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously, it's a moment of transforming technology. But the truth is that marketing has always been transformed by technology. I mean, if we think about when radio, for example, was invented, imagine at that time, the marketeer at that times, suddenly they can go in every home at very low cost and learning how to actually communicate with consumer, right? And obviously now we consider radio a very old technology, but at that time it probably was a massive one. When TV came, the same thing applied. Suddenly you can have videos and music and sound with colors, for example, again in the homes of people. So today the big difference though is that obviously we have the digital revolution with the internet, but then after a few years, in fact, mobile came in, and now after only a few years, AI is coming, right? Yeah. And the three of them that I just mentioned, so they use the internet, mobile, and AI itself would be like a major technology that would probably be considered something that that you would talk for years, right? Those are coming very, very close to each other, and that is a big difference. So the speed on which these technology are coming in and they are integrating each other actually is really revolutionary. And that is the main difference versus the past. In fact, it's so hard to actually be at pace with the velocity of this. Even to imagine how the consumer journey changing is almost impossible for the near future, right? You can just see what the present is coming. Because the other thing is, it's not just technology which changes the way to market to consumer, hence to communicate with consumer, but also these technology are profoundly changing the behavior of consumers. Hence, you have a double shifting in changing. On one hand, technology that allows you, for example, to talk on a mobile phone in any time, in any moment, etc., and therefore a media to reach people. But at the same time, you have the usage consumer that, for example, use the phone, and maybe they have two screens in front of them, or even three sometimes, TV, a laptop, or a mobile, right? And hence, for a professional, it's a very interesting time because you need to understand, on one hand, how the technology allows you to do things. On the other, also understand the human natures, which is very complicated, and try to connect the two in such a way that you can promote your product or your services effectively, but also moving with the way consumer moving across the globe.
Yeah, and I think to these days we see a lot of that. The people, especially the younger generations, the Gen Z and Gen Y, Gen Z, etc., they are adopting very quickly some of these. They're very digitally very savvy, and they're really able to excel the use very and leverage the full potential of this innovations much faster than before. And in Italy, in particular, how do you see this transition to AI? Unfolding. Of course, you have a significant exposure and collaborations with Italian companies and many local and international firms. And do you see an adoption that's moving rather fast, and early adopters moving on very, very, very quickly, or some fear of missing out? How is Google supporting Italy's transition to AI, helping firms to leverage this transformative technologies for growth, and in particular the cloud-based AI solutions that can be used for marketing, advertising, e-commerce, and so on. So what is your take on where is Italy, and what is Google doing for helping and support this transition in the AI era?
No, I mean, Italy is, as all the country, in fact, in developing world, quite interested to know how to adopt AI. Yeah, I have to say, I've seen a lot of interest of many CEOs, but not only them, C-levels across the companies, a big but also small company, to actually look for information to understand how this new technology can help them. And I think it's a big opportunity for Italy, to be honest with you. I mean, Italy has been lagging behind technology in the past compared to our peer country, let's say, like France or UK, for example. And that's actually, was not necessarily positive for our economy, which is full of amazing companies. But it's very important that technology is used to actually bring this new, what we call the made in Italy, into the new world. And I think AI is for us a big opportunity. Yeah, I mean, think about it. One of the most important things that AI can do is improve productivity, and we know that Italy is, always has some kind of troubles in terms of productivity. That's, for example, is where AI can help our ecosystem, which is made of course, some big company, but also a lot of small, medium companies that have excellencies, but that sometimes they have trouble in scaling up their business. AI can really be, I think, the technology can transform. It can be a second or a third revolution that can really give Italian SMEs, in particular, small medium company, that kind of extra edge. Because in the past, AI was just was a very expensive technology. I mean, it's not a new technology, but It was just something that only a huge company could actually get, like all the new technology coming in. Now AI is becoming something you can easily, as we talked about cloud before, you can easily be assessed by basically almost every company at let's say a generally not high cost. Hence, you have the chance of also the small the new company can have access to the most amazing computers, the most amazing data, the most amazing mining. For what it concerns Google, I mean, for example, we have just launched in collaboration with some institutions a project we call AI for Made in Italy. It's a project that support SMBs, small medium companies, to actually upskill their learning to AI. We have done collaboration together with the Polytechnic of Milan that produce what we call AI small report. So it's a report that people in small company can go and to understand how they are basically within the technology, and how they can use AI in their sector in order to to learn at least some understanding of how this can help them. And then obviously we also went around the Italy. We did in Bergamo with Confindustria Metalmeccanica to basically show even with some physical demos how AI can really change the way, for example, to produce. And I've seen an amazing reception of this technology.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. The Industrial Association in Bergamo and the mechanical applications, so the industrial application of AI. So that's really a great response. It looks like there's a lot of things you guys are doing for the small and medium size, also the large company. That's very encouraging. That's very good. And I imagine that the combination of training and teaching and helping the country to grow and to learn on one side, and the availability, cloud computing solutions, which allow easier access to this service to even smaller companies without the complexity of managing the technology inside, but they can also have it through the cloud. So yeah, that's a great. And by the way, I've seen a lot of Google courses, Google training, even for free, going around in the past. I've even taken a couple of them. So I confirm that there is a big effort from all the companies in this industry and players like Google to raise the bar of knowledge, to raise the bar of understanding and knowledge in this. So I think the first thing is learning, learning and understanding. And I think you guys are contributing significantly to that space, to develop the understanding and also the knowledge means understanding what you can do with it. So that means developing new business models. As companies or startups or whatever, small, medium sized, even big companies, they just imagine new ways of doing not only better things, but even new capabilities, new business models. So that's also, I would imagine, very, very interesting. To this point, Vincenzo, the governance, the AI governance, and the mindset. So how would you define, what would you say are the important elements to consider, companies should consider when they think about this journey, the AI journey? What are the organizational readiness things that must be on their checklist, on their radar? What's really important to make sure that they have a proper AI governance and responsible AI and safe AI in place? What's the roadmap? What's the journey that you guys suggest?
Well, I mean, again, everything is still work in progress. Yeah, so we are still in early stages, and as you said before, I think Google, like other companies, obviously are providing AI solutions, but at the end it's gonna be the company, then they're gonna use it to actually make something out of it. Yeah, Uber did not invent the GPS. The GPS was invented, then Uber used GPS to deliver, to connect cars, and customers want to go from A to B. The same thing is gonna be with AI. Yeah, AI will be delivered, obviously, solutions by companies like Google. Then there's gonna be some creative minds that are gonna use it to produce that. When it comes into mindset, you said, I think what is very important and I see people are starting thinking this way. So I think we are on the right track. We're not going to have the AI department.
Okay.
In the beginning, when the digital world was born, there was the digital, part silos of the company, right?
Yeah.
AI is going to affect the whole company. So it's not about having a part of AI within the company, but every process will be enriched with these new technologies. So I think in terms of mindset is okay. It's not what can I do with AI, but how can I do my current business with the use of AI, right? It's not changing your business model. Maybe it will be, but in the first thing is, okay, how can AI help me? Yeah, from anything, from marketing, of course, obviously with something very obvious, but even in terms of production, why not even to do something which could improve maybe internal communications with employees. What I'm trying to say with that is that any kind of area of the companies, I think will be affect, improved, change with the use of AI. So AI is going to be like something that will be needed to be thought, understood by everybody in the organization, from the top leader down to all the employers. And because of that, the second point, because AI, like all the technology we've been seeing the last years, as I was saying before, are changing. I want to say every day, but every week, every month, there are new models, new applications. They're gonna be new case study that you learn maybe from companies, maybe are your competitors, or maybe are application that are in a different industry, but somehow they can be used by your company. Hence, the mindset has to be of a constant learning process. The time when you go to university or whatever, you do a training and then you forget about for years in terms of upgrading yourself because you can use what you learn is over. It's a constant learning journey. Think about myself, I'm definitely studying more now than when I was at school, to be honest. Yeah, because it's very hard to be basically in tune with all the different news that are coming. So, in other words, mindset is thinking AI as something that can really help the whole process, the whole company. Second, make sure that everybody are hungry for a constant development process of their own competencies.
So developing this curiosity, this continuous learning approach and mindset.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly from a previous conversation we had, also the in many, especially sometimes in small organization, the data-driven mindset is also another thing that sometimes is not widely spread. So understanding how to first of all organize data, clean data, make sure the data is, and then of course enable experimentations, as you said, and learning, and combine that with the business models, with the talents that people have. Sometimes dedicating some routine tasks initially to AI, and then of course experimenting and finding learning how to use and combine this AI to the other part. So yeah, that's definitely even I have to say, like everybody else, have been using my little practice of AI. I imagine you do the same in your daily activities. You do use some AI to summarize some readings, or to drafting some work, or doing some other stuff. We all use it. We all starting to learn and use it that way. Do you think, Vincenzo, that AI can be generative AI can be useful also in advancing accessibility, inclusion, diversity, equity. In other words, AI can help create situations like, for example, reducing biases or creating business models that can be somehow innovative, and then that may have a positive impact on social good and responsible use AI. So they might actually improve inclusivity for consumers, for users moving
Well, I
forward.
think, oh, I mean, it's a new superpower that we have, and I think there's already a lot of I think understanding or making sure that AI is positive player within society rather than a negative player when it comes, for example, to biases, as you were saying. I can already think about many applications that can include people in different areas. For example, you can use a phone now to see a room, and for example, if you have a problem of sight, you can detect, for example, where there is a exit sign, for example, if you're in a cinema, or if you are in a bar, right? So AI now, you have your phone, you can read the room, and therefore improve your life straight away. That is inclusive itself. Or for example, if you think about phones, for example, in the Google phone that we have called Pixel, we have a feature that makes sure that when you take pictures of AI helps to make sure that the picture and for the color of the skin of the person that you've been taking the picture is accurate, and is more true to what it really shows. So I mean, again, two little example of how AI can already play a role into making sure that the society improves. So that absolutely, that is something that we can do. I mean, Google is definitely very keen to make sure that also the algorithm that are produced or they are written do not have biases, and there is a lot of effort making sure that from the start you build artificial intelligence which take into account some mistakes maybe humans beings have been doing in the past, and make sure it is not reproduced across the algorithm, for example, that we're going to use now and in the future.
Absolutely. I remember when I also took the little intro course to Google, it was saying a responsibility by design, and other
Oh
things
yes,
like
oh yeah.
compliance and all those things. Well, I learned that part. So yeah, they design, they check, everything, keeping in mind stakeholders.
Google will talk about, we want AI to be bold, hence,
Yeah, yeah,
go against very important challenges. So you don't want
yeah.
to be shy, making sure that you are delivering and maybe changing the world in a positive way, but at the same time responsible, because we know it's a very important, it's a powerful technology. Therefore, we need to do everything with the right responsibility. So we are very keen on these two words.
Since Google is globally famous as a leader in particular in the search engines and in advertising and supporting and improving analytics related to data, advertising, and so on, with the various models that you have. Uh, where do you see this impact? We know that recently Google has developed a lot of innovations related to connecting AI to the search engine for marketing and keywords and content optimizations or link building, and even to improve the personalized user experience or driving traffic. Where do you see this impact of AI, Gen AI, having the most relevance for people that use search engine?
No, I mean, obviously, I mean, the search engine that Google has been improving since the day one, right? So we all believe somehow it's the same product, but in fact has been improving constantly during the last 25 years, right? I mean, at the beginning you could just search, for example, keywords. Now you can I don't know if you ever use it, but I use Google Lens, which is basically an application that allows you to make searches through images, right? I mean, now I use it every day, and that obviously, by definition, uses AI, right? It's able to understanding what the picture is, what it is, what is not, and that's only through AI. And then through that, is able to actually find out that the best answer to your query, right? And obviously, AI is already part of the way the search engine works. I mean, Google
Okay.
has let's say declared itself AI first company since 2016. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's so since then, even before, in fact, AI is already part of every product
Yeah.
that we have. For example, if you use Gmail and if you don't receive lots of spam, all those spam emails that you get are being filtered by AI, for example, right? There are
Yeah.
and it works pretty well. So as you can see already, I think AI is playing within in the background to deliver powerful experiences, which at the end of the day is what we want. We as consumer, we're not too much interested in knowing how the magic works. We just want the magic to work for us. So therefore, if we're looking for the right answer, then AI could give it to you. For example, I'm gonna go soon on holiday, and my trip around France is being suggested to me by Gemini. Yeah, so
Okay.
I was able to. Yeah, I want to go around France a little bit. I have two kids. I prompt, very specifically, how old I am, how old are my kids, how long do I want to do car, city by city, and Gemini suggests me. I told them I don't want to go in the south of France. I just want to stay, in some kind of area. So I was very detailed with the prompting, and the answer was pretty good. And then obviously I checked, obviously, because with the Google search whether the answer was
Right.
proper. And but again, just a very simple example of how already my
That's
query was
that's
answered through AI.
absolutely. I have to confirm that, like everybody else, I use Google. I've been using Google for many years for basic things on a search engine, but even and especially on vacations, even before AI, the ones that we use now, like Gemini or the other uh, um, applications, even just the search engine was providing incredible information. So now with Gemini, even more. This is even more powerful. I've experienced and I've seen other people going through. Yeah, there's a lot of potential there. That's really from basic little things to more complex stuff. There is a lot of potential that, and in particular, when I think about Project Astra, I just want to mention that this because I was watching some movies a few days ago. The image recognition, the natural language processing, and all the other parts, the multimodal information. There is a lot of really powerful opportunities in using these tools because they really enable very important experience for the users. I don't know if you want to say something about this particular
No,
application.
obviously, I mean, it's an amazing demonstration of what AI could do and will do. Obviously, at the moment we're still in an early phase, but I think it was a very powerful demonstration of how the technology of multimodality in this case, which is the ability to basically process voice, images, um, within the same let's say starting point,
Yeah,
allows some application which are really revolutionary. So I mean, it's still in early phase. I mean, obviously it was released during the IO that we did, I think in May. Yes, in May. And but it shows the velocity of how technology is moving. Yeah? I mean, a year ago, that would be probably something that we would have thought to come in more than 1 year. In fact,
Yeah.
it was released only 1 year after, let's say, the launch of Gemini. That it was called Bard before for Google. So, I mean, for me, the main thinking is how fast it's going. To be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that it's very, you can ask questions in a conversational pace, make interaction feel much more natural. It's really very, very easy to use, very comfortable, and very
It's very
powerful.
magic.
And
From
yeah,
a marketeer, we use a lot this word, but this is really a magical product. In fact, from a user
uh,
point.
absolutely, and that's really amazing for many applications. Um, in particular, um, I was wondering, you've mentioned Gemini. Gemini is really like many other products like this. They really help search. They help a lot of activities for productivity, scalability, and personalization. So now I think this is a dimension that's very important. The fact you can have a tailored experience, by adapting and understanding the individual user's needs and preferences. Is that something that you and your teams are experiencing now with this type of tools, whether you use them or your client use Gemini?
No, I mean, obviously, I think that one of the major, let's say, advantage that AI gives you and will give is the ability to go at scale, but with customized messages. So there will be
Hmm.
the opportunity to change creativity,
Yeah,
which is accordingly with the person that receive it in the right moment, the right context, and
yeah,
that's will obviously increase the return on investment. Because if you are able to deliver a message to the right person in the right
yeah,
moment when that person really needs it,
yeah,
then obviously it will be well received. And obviously AI is the only way to do that at scale. Yeah, you can do.
yeah,
You can't but need AI if you want to do that scale. That's I think is going to change everything. Yeah, and it's going to change really the ability to deliver
yeah.
uh, outstanding marketing campaigns at scale with a relatively low cost, I would say. So quite intrigued to
Yeah.
see also again how other companies will use it in the market.
Yeah, also because traditionally segmentation and targeting has always been uh, by segments, by clusters and by groups. And in this case, with this real-time dynamic segmentations, with the big data, with the ability to personalize profiling one by one and deliver to users what they want, what they need based on their specific individual behaviors, preferences, characteristics, that's big, in fact, big transformations. And this personalization at scale, not just personalization or one person, but of scale, potentially everyone, that means a big difference. And of course, the addition of not only personalizing the offer, the preferences, colors, design, layout, uh, ad copy, whatever, visual, but also the communication, virtual assistant that can actually communicate in a personalized way, deliver different formats. That looks like uh, an amazing breakthrough, a change in marketing, advertising, communication. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, I mean that is the next part. I mean, obviously we call them agents, the last IO, so that the ability to actually use uh, AI to communicate in a very simple way, personalized ways is probably going to revolutionize the way we interact. For example, in retails or retail, they can be either physical or e-commerce, but the ability to actually be able to ask questions and be answered with the most amazing way to understanding what they offer. Because sometimes you if you are a company that maybe offer many products or many services, it's very hard even for the most expert of the seller to be able to actually know everything about the product itself, for example, right? But in that case, you will be able to do that accordingly. And again, do it at a scale. So I think that part is going to revolutionize the communication with the customers and companies, I would say.
And automate some of the marketing activities and reduce time and improve productivity. Of course, getting a lot, so because, when we talk about AI, evidently there's a lot of automation, but there is also a lot of data that can bring insight, consumer insights, identify patterns, and be used for even for predictive scores, and so to have a better effectiveness of targeting certain things, or to work on sentiment analysis. And so this is really very, providing sort of instant assistant and on-demand services. So when it comes to your marketing experience in particular, Vincenzo, what are the not only focused on AI, what are the areas in marketing that you see more relevant these days? It's more like segmentation, targeting, communication, data, revolutionary marketing research, where in general, looking at your practice, your marketing practice, where do you see marketing going, AI and not AI is included, AI aside, in general in marketing, what is on your on your radar? What is the most important things that you're considering in moving forward?
Well, I think the biggest challenge, I think, for marketeers right now is to be able to, of course, deliver on performance marketing, which is what we took until now, but then also uh, build brands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's, I mean, the two things has to go together. So obviously, in the past, before digital came, there were more branding rather than performance marketing. Then we move into performance marketing. I've been seeing both, right? Because again, I used to work in a traditional marketing company. Now at Google, I think you have to do both. Yeah, I mean, can't but grow your brand. Hence means to have a unified message, um, and uh, and uh, and if in the same time you have micro conversation, then it becomes very complicated, right? Because we used to have, like, a TV commercial going TV, everybody will see the same thing. Yes, you did not have a personalized communication, but at least you'll be able to actually govern the brand building part, right? If at the same time you're starting to have different conversations, then you might have different kind of brand perception, and the long run this will not work. So I think that's the biggest challenge the market here have. Hence, building brands, therefore giving to the next CMO a most valuable brand. So working for the medium long term, but also, of course, give your CFO the numbers that he or she wants, because it's you need to deliver against results. So that's the main challenge. And again, I hope AI will be able to help on that, because until now the micro conversation were not necessarily very linked with branding. Hence, AI can potentially be able to actually have micro conversation that have the same cohesive brand proposition. Would be like a new way of doing marketing.
And related to this thing of brand, I imagine naturally that having such a prestigious, famous brand globally, a well-known, trusted brand, how, in your role as a marketing expert, as a CMO, as Chief Marketing Officer of the Italian practice, of course, there is a lot of benefits of support being part of this family, Google family globally. And of course, you receive part of the decisions of the corporate strategy from global corporate headquarters, and also give back. How much is this? How do you, in a brand like this, how do you balance local and global? You are a global giant, super brand, at the same time, which you have some of the huge benefits of being part of this great global brand. But then you have to adapted to the local country, which is Italy or France or India or Argentina, US, whatever. So how do you find that balance there between global and local? We always talk about this transnational, global type of thing. How much is the similarities and differences, even when a service is a global service pretty much, with a lot of similarities, but how do you really maintain the results, the performance, the momentum, keeping a balance between the local specific needs and what the corporate wants to achieve with the global brand?
No, I mean, this is a challenge for any global corporation. I used to work at Unilever. I was a global person, and now I'm a local person at Google. And in both companies, there was always this complication, because on one hand you want to have a global proposition. For what it concerns Google, also you have a global product by definition, because it's the product goes at scales. And so the challenge is making sure that what it lands in the market is, on one hand, good quality. Hence, we give back feedback, for example, to the engineer team to make sure that if there are some things, for example, language, for example, for Gemini, we actually help them to fine tune the product to actually have a good use in Italian, just to give an example. When it comes into go-to-market, we're looking for a way to deliver deliver marketing campaigns that are, yes, in tune with the Google brand equities, but at the same time can deliver again Italian market. So it's a constant balance. I think you don't never have a perfect model. I think Google is quite well balanced, because it allows us to do a lot of local things. For example, the program I was telling before, AI for Made in Italy, that is an Italian program that uses, of course, the AI coming from the US, but it's delivered in a very local way. For example, working with the Confindustria, for example, in this case. So yes, it's part of my job. That's why I'm quite happy to do it. It's what keeps me very, very motivated, interested every day in doing this.
Absolutely.
Enter prompt here. Okay, can't be that hard. How about generate an image of a cat playing guitar?
Is that how it works? Am I doing AI?
Yeah, it just does whatever you type.
What a last-minute gift ideas you can make with arts and crafts.
Plan a workout routine to get bigger calves.
Help me think of titles for my tell-all memoir.
What's something smart I can say about Renoir?
Generate another image of a cat playing guitar.
If a girl calls me a snack, how do I reply?
Yeah, that's how it works. You're doing AI.
Make this email sound more professional before I hit send.
What's a good excuse to cancel dinner with my friends?
We're literally sitting right here.
There's no wrong way to prompt. Yeah, you're doing it. There's no wrong way to prompt. Just whatever you type. Prompt your prompt in the prompt bar.
Or just generate an image of a cat playing guitar.
You know I can do other stuff, right?
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vincenzo. It was very insightful, very great to meet you again and to have you share all this great insights, great knowledge about your experience as a CMO at Google. Look forward to talking to you soon, and thank you very much for attending this meeting.
It was a pleasure talking to you, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.